Love in the Oven, The Dietitian Delivers, which is a far cry from the early stages of my nutrition career, where I still do it on a consultant basis, but I actually feed very sick patients intravenously, mostly out of hospitals in the New York tri-state area, primarily Manhattan. But this is a more interesting, fun part of the nutrition business. And the premise of the business itself is to recognizing how busy people are and how much processed food has made its way into the standard American diet, and the fact that we're not happy about it, but yet we feel powerless to do something about it. We are trying to promote a movement towards real food, whole food, at the table, rather than through the drive-thru. So being a registered dietitian, I've worked with a variety of populations, and the goal was to provide homemade, though in my commercial kitchen, meals to local families. When I first started out with this idea, my target demographic was in the senior care community, because that's an area of great need. But the more I investigated it, the more I realized this is a concept that could benefit anyone of any age, really, from busy soccer families to working professionals who are upstarting their own careers and working 60 hours a week and don't want their health to suffer as a result of it, to athletes and the parents of athletes, and even corporate offices who want to offer benefits to their employees. So this business started. I received my permit on May 13th. Interestingly, my first person I told about this particular business was done so over a cup of coffee on January 19th of 2019, when I bounced my idea off of one of my closest friends, a professional woman. Besides my husband, there were 3 women. Sawaluk is one of them that I bounced the idea off of, each with their own professional accomplishments, whose opinion I valued. So the original goal was to just get up and running, find a kitchen that's permitted, get the actual permit, go through the process, start the menu, get distributors going, and just start operations. And then eventually, this gross profit margin of 56 to 69% did not factor in all of the overhead costs. In this industry, I've since learned to count my profit in another way, but it just so happens to be that the math works out the same. And then eventually I thought I would augment this stream of revenue with private label, healthier, whole food type of non-perishables that can be shipped. I knew that I would need to build up clientele first and interest and drive traffic to the site. As the business grows, I wanted to reach minimum purchasing requirements for volume discounts so that I could get better deals with the distributors who currently will not look at me or currently are charging me more than retail, so that I could maximize profits and put more money into the business to further. My goal time frame to reach the minimum purchasing requirement and have that volume is 1 year. I'm not sure if I'll get there. I'm 7 months in at the moment. And then another goal was to expand reach to local food outlets, Josh's Farmers Market, different outlets, bakeries, coffee shops, that type of thing that might want to have a complimentary offering for their clientele, but maybe don't have the food permit, the catering permit to do so. And then, so these were my initial goals, but then reality hit, and very quickly I learned that you have to adapt. So at 7 months in, this is all that has happened. I lost my lease. The day I received my permit, I found out that the whole plaza was being sold. I thought I was safe, and we weren't. So we found a commercial kitchen and moved, which has had its own set of challenges, had some downtime in between having permits for a while because the Department of Health was dragging their feet. The market area shifted. The marketing area shifted as a result. I'm no longer in Mooresville, I'm in Davidson, which is actually a potential plus. and a national franchise entered the market. Clean Eats has just entered Mooresville. Fortunately, they're on the west side of town, so they're in Cornelius, and they're on the west side of town by the lake. I'm in Davidson, right on the east side, on the border of Mooresville, on Shears Road. So I'm kind of going to be capitalizing on that area. I became marginally profitable month 6, and that's due to event catering, which is something I wasn't expecting to do, at least not right away. And the first week I announced my business, I landed a wedding. So there's a very much a market for that. And then a local provider who was my direct competition, very similar to what I do, not corporate, not chain, not franchise, does what I do on the west side of Mooresville. He folded. It turned out that he had his ear to the ground. He was a step ahead of me. He found out about Clean Eats right before I did, and that's why he made the decision to fold. So at this point, with all those changes, my potential new paths for 2020 are varied. I can continue with the healthy meals and the delivery. Everything's frozen and delivered. I can expand the catering for events, or I can become more of a market where people, like an Italian market, where people come and pick up fresh food that's made and also have frozen, and just be more of a retail establishment, or potentially other ideas. Is that a ring, like we're done? Okay.
I know you just got one more slide. So.
Well, it's actually 3, but there are pros and cons. There are pros and cons with each. To continue the healthy meals, it's existing already. The location is good, and the freezing helps. It reduces food waste, and it allows my schedule to be flexible. The cons are that the competition has just exploded. It's very labor intensive, and the clients are challenging. Everybody knows something about nutrition, so everybody's an expert on nutrition, and everybody is very particular about their needs. So that's not necessarily a bad thing, it's just something that factors into the decision process. Expanding to the event catering, this does have the best margins. It's an easier clientele, and the overhead's already the same. I'm already paying for everything already. I already rent a kitchen. To scale would take money, and to schedule, it's harder to control the schedule. And a market caterer takes a lot of money, and the overhead increases 18-fold. And but the storefront drives business, so it's convenient for clients. I have a little more control over the production schedule. It's just cost to get there. So my questions are, where do I go from here? Which avenue? Right now I'm pursuing all 3 on a smaller scale, but with full force, because I don't know which door is really going to open. And you have to do that in the beginning. But at this point, I'm trying to determine where best to focus my energies.
Thank you, Nancy.